Every lesson is a lyric in the universal song. Oh, the lessons of the journey, I weave them in my song.
Hello and welcome to Lessons of the Journey. I'm Coach Nicole here with Coach Jen, and today we're diving into the ripple effect of personal growth. This is one of those lessons we really wish had been taught in school. When you commit to personal growth, you don't just change your own life, you change every life you touch. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a perfectly still pond. You drop a pebble in, and at first, all you see is the splash. But then the ripples begin to spread outward, further and further, touching everything in their path. That's exactly what happens when you do the deep, sometimes messy, always beautiful work of personal growth. We often think our journey is just about us, our healing, our habits, our choices. But the truth is, your growth is much bigger than you. It reaches into your family, your friendships, your workplace, even to strangers. Sometimes it even shapes the lives of people you'll never meet. The ripple travels further than you can imagine, and its impact is immeasurable.
Oh my gosh, that's right. And here's the part that surprises people. Those ripples aren't always comfortable. Sometimes your growth is inspiring. It lights people up, gives them hope, and creates a beautiful transformation in your circle. But other times, your growth disrupts the status quo. It shakes up relationships. It challenges the roles and expectations people have gotten really comfortable with. It forces others to face the parts of themselves they might not be ready to confront. Neuroscience has a word for this. It's homeostasis. It means our brains crave predictability and stability. Even when the familiar isn't healthy, it still feels safe because it's known. So when you change, you're not just changing yourself, you're asking everyone around you to adjust too. And that adjustment can feel threatening, whether they realize it or not.
So true. Think about a mobile hanging above a baby's crib. When one piece moves, every other piece shifts in response, and it's searching for balance. Sometimes those shifts are gentle and graceful. Other times, they're messy and chaotic before a new balance can settle in. That's the ripple effect of personal growth. And in today's episode, we're unpacking why it happens, how to navigate the resistance it stirs up, and how to keep growing in ways that create meaningful, lasting change. By the time we're done, you'll have practical tools to not only recognize the ripples you set in motion, but also to guide them with intention, compassion, and courage.
That's right. So a little announcement, because Nicole and I are so passionate about this work that we're doing here on the podcast, we've decided to shape it a little differently. Here's what that will look like. Each month, we will release new episodes. Then we'll bring back select episodes we believe deserve a deeper dive. Why are we doing this? Because we know that you're a lot like us. Knowledge is everywhere, but how often do we actually stop, sit with it, and let it sink in? We know life gets chaotic, and the valuable lessons we hear can slip by without the reflection they really deserve. So we're trying to make it easier for you to slow down, go deeper, and revisit ideas that are worth repeating. And here's the funny thing about a second listen. It often reveals messages we weren't ready to hear the first time.
I love this. Can I just tell you, I have plenty of time to do what I want with my time. I still have that Instagram list of all the great ideas for personal growth. Ask me how many times I go to that list.
Yep. Oh, I'll save that video. Let's go back to it. Save that video. Let's go back to it.
I'm going to look at it someday.
One day I'll know all the things.
One day I won't have all the things on my plate. We tell ourselves that. Well, I love that we're doing this. You know what? We really do have so much great content. This is going to be cool. Okay, let's get back to the ripple effect and the science behind it. So let's start with the why. Why does your personal growth have such a powerful effect on the people around you? As humans, our nervous systems are wired for stability. homeostasis, what Jen was talking about. Even if the patterns we're living in are unhealthy, our brains and bodies cling to them because at least they feel predictable. Family systems theory, developed by Dr. Murray Bowen, captures this so well. It teaches that families, and really any group, function as interconnected emotional systems. So when one person shifts emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, it'll send a wave through the whole system. Think back to that mobile hanging above a crib. If one piece moves, every other piece has to shift to find balance again. That's why your growth can trigger such strong reactions. And even small changes can ripple through your family, your friendships, or your workplace in ways you may never have expected.
Yep. Oh, so many times in life. Did you know there's a biological component to this too? Neuroscientists discovered something fascinating in the 1990s called mirror neurons. These are brain cells that fire not only when you take an action, but also when you see someone else take action. This is why we literally catch emotions. If you walk into a room full of tension, your body senses it almost instantly. It's why a baby smiles when their parent smiles, even before they understand words. When you start showing up differently, calmer, more grounded, more intentional, people don't just notice, they feel your change in their own nervous system. Your growth literally creates a physiological ripple through the people around you.
And these ripples extend further than we ever realized. The Framingham Heart Study, which tracked thousands of people over 30 years, found that behaviors and emotions like happiness, smoking, even obesity spread through social networks up to 3 degrees of separation.
That's wild.
It is so wild. So here's what that means. If you become more joyful, more healthy, more compassionate, it directly influences your friends, friends, and even their friends.
Holy shit. We're changing the world here.
Your growth doesn't just stay in your home or workplace. It literally has the power to shift communities.
That's powerful. Ooh. This is why personal work matters so deeply. You are never growing in isolation. Every boundary you set, every old pattern you heal, every courageous step you take, it all sends ripples through your relationships, your workplace, and even future generations. And because these ripples are so powerful, they can create 2 very different experiences. They can inspire and uplift, or they can trigger resistance and conflict. Let's start with the beautiful side of this, the positive ripples your growth creates. One of my favorite parts of this work is watching how growth gives other people permission to grow. When you make a brave choice, you show others what is possible. I've seen this in my coaching clients so many times. One woman started setting boundaries at work, no more staying late every night, no more saying yes out of guilt. And at first, her coworkers pushed back. They didn't like the change because it disrupted the unspoken culture of the overwork. But over time, her courage started inspiring others. Slowly, more people began setting boundaries too. Eventually, the entire team's dynamic shifted, and it all started because one person chose to model a new way of being.
Yep. I've also witnessed the ripple effect firsthand. I once worked with a client. I've actually worked with multiple clients like this.
Yes.
Who was a chronic people pleaser. She said yes to everything, even when it came at a huge personal cost. When she started practicing the art of saying no, kindly, but clearly, it felt awkward at first. She was very uncomfortable. Her friends and family weren't sure what to make of this new version of her. But over time, something powerful happened. As they watched her honor her own needs, they began voicing their own to her more honestly, too. It takes us back to a past episode where we talked about boundaries as acts of love, because healthy boundaries don't just protect you, they actually create space for deeper, more authentic connection.
You ever hear this one, Nicole? You've changed.
Oh, yeah.
You've changed, Nicole. I don't know. You used to be X and now you're
Yeah.
Y. And I'm not sure how I like Y. You've
Yeah.
changed.
I find interesting is I think you usually do hear, oh, you've changed, but you don't hear, oh, you've changed.
Right. Yes. Absolutely, I've changed. I am growing. I am becoming. Are you not changing? Oh, no, you were just attached to that version of me that was more convenient for you. I see. Yes, this is something I've actually experienced in my own friendships. When I began shifting how I showed up, being more intentional with my time, choosing relationships that felt mutual instead of one-sided, and saying no to things that drained me, it really changed the dynamic. And at first, some friends didn't get it. They were used to me always being available, always putting their needs before mine, always doing the thing that they wanted to do. But as I stayed consistent, a really powerful thing happened. The friends who were meant to be in my life started to mirror me. They began taking better care of themselves, setting healthier boundaries, and choosing relationships that lifted them up too. And that's what I love about growth. You don't have to convince anyone with your words. You really simply just live it. You show up differently, and your life becomes the message that gives others permission to do the same.
Let's pause here and invite you, our listeners, to really reflect. This isn't just about listening. It's about taking the time to engage with your own journey. If you can, grab a notebook or open a notes app on your phone. Here's the question for you. Where are you currently experiencing growth in your life? And what shifts are you intentionally making right now? Please don't rush this. Pause the episode, give yourself a couple of quiet minutes, and write about it. Let your thoughts flow. No judgment, no editing. This is your chance to honor the work you're doing and to notice the ripples you're already creating. When you're ready, come back and we'll keep moving forward together.
All right, welcome back. Now, let's look outward. Here's another prompt for you. Who has been most impacted by your growth so far? We're going to think about both positively and negatively. Pause this again and really consider it. Be honest about both the inspiring and challenging ripple effects.
Welcome back. Congratulations. Those ripples you just identified, they're powerful. But here is where it gets complicated. Not all ripples are easy to handle. Sometimes the very same growth that inspires some people will trigger resistance in others. I can honestly say this is one of my most difficult lessons as I grow.
Mm-hmm.
When you begin to grow, you disrupt the unspoken rules that hold your relationships together.
Oh, that just gave me goosebumps. That is such a legit thing. The unspoken rules that hold your relationships together. Wow.
It's so true.
Yeah, you can think of a few relationships where that just brought something up.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
Most families, friendships, even workplaces, they operate with invisible agreements about who plays which role. Maybe you're the fixer, the peacemaker, the caretaker, the overachiever. These roles create predictability. They keep the system running the way it always has. Again, homeostasis.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the body's comfortable with. You can't blame people when they start to feel that ripple and go, whoa. When you stop playing your assigned role, everything shifts. Suddenly, others are forced to confront their own patterns. That can feel incredibly unsettling, especially if they didn't choose to confront those patterns. And here's the tough part. Instead of celebrating your growth, some people may try to nudge or even pull you back into the role that feels safe and familiar for them.
Yeah. Don't upset the apple cart.
Status quo, baby.
Oh my gosh. I've really lived this inside of my own family. Y'all have heard me talk about growing up. For a long time, I felt like I was in this bubble where my role was to go along with whatever my parents said or thought was the right thing for me. Even when it came to decisions about my own life as an adult, I found myself deferring to their final say because I felt like I owed it to them to listen, to honor their opinion, and really, I guess underneath it all, keep the peace between us. After all, they cared for me and kept me safe my whole life. So of course I owed them, or so I thought. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I had built my identity around that dynamic. My voice stayed quiet because speaking up really did feel like a betrayal. And it was just safer to agree and not rock the boat. But I tell you, as I started doing this work, as I grew, I really reached a point where I couldn't stay quiet anymore. I began voicing my real opinions about my life, my boundaries, and what I actually wanted for myself. I got to tell you, it threw them all off. It wasn't comfortable. But here's what I eventually had to realize. Their reaction wasn't really about me. It was about what my growth forced them to confront in themselves. My decision to speak up highlighted the ways they were staying silent in their own lives, and that was really uncomfortable for them. This is when the second agreement, don't take anything personally, really became my anchor. I was living it. It reminded me that their discomfort was theirs to carry, not mine to fix. My responsibility was to stay true to myself, to keep using my voice, even if it made them uncomfortable or uneasy, because staying silent would have meant betraying myself. I had done that for too long. And I'd learned that I can't keep sacrificing my truth just to make other people comfortable. Oh, one of my favorite quotes, I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but it says, "You are not required to light yourself on fire to keep others warm."
Mm-hmm. That's a very good one. It sounds to me, correct me if I'm wrong, Jen, that you made the choice to let go of the good girl script that we were discussing.
Oh,
last week.
Last episode hit hard.
I shouldn't say let go. I would say redefine it.
Redefine. I did. I had to. It was coming back to alignment is really what it was. It was like, wait a minute, that little girl voice got lost a long time ago. And we know where it came from. It came from a really good intention. I want to keep you safe. I want to keep you healthy. And in that, you lose yourself. So it was me finding it again. Yeah. But me finding it again made other people unhappy.
Ripples.
Yeah.
Well, this is great because I want to explore the idea of differentiation. So differentiation is the ability to stay deeply connected to the people you love while remaining grounded and true to yourself. We've discussed this concept in past episodes for sure. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean cutting people off, and it doesn't mean dragging them along on your journey before they're ready. Oh, come on. I want to drag.
Come with me. It's good on this side.
Why did I instantly picture a cave woman dragging her husband along? Poor Tim. He comes along joyfully, jogging next to me with a smile on his face going, where are we going now, crazy lady? Look, this is really about standing firmly in who you are becoming, even when the people around you don't fully understand or agree with the changes you're making. I used an analogy of when I was building my pool, and I kept trying to explain to everybody on my property what it was going to look like. And they were all like, what are you talking about? Then it happened and they go, oh, this is beautiful. It's kind of like that. They don't get it during the process, but then at the end, they're like, oh, we like the new version of you. Look, here's the key. Your job isn't to convince others or to make them comfortable with your growth. Your work is to hold steady in your own evolution while continuing to offer love, compassion, and grace. Because the truth is, you can love someone with your whole heart and still choose to walk a completely different path. Sometimes doing so is the very thing that creates space for them to discover their own path in their own timing, in their own way. I want to use an analogy here. If you are in the eye of a hurricane, it's calm. Yeah. There's no wind. You're like standing in this calm going, I'm just shifting little things here and there. And around you is like this hurricane, right? And you got to stay calm while all that is happening until that settles. You got to stay in the eye. But here's what we don't do. We don't stay in the eye. We get caught up in this. And then we're trying to shift and we're trying to deal with all that. Whew.
That is a great analogy. Absolutely. Totally poignant. Yeah. Stay in the eye. Be the eye.
Be the eye. The all-seeing eye. We have too
Well,
many of those.
and so it is. Now is a good time to reflect. Grab that journal, your notes app, whatever it is that you're using. And let's think about this question. Where are you currently experiencing resistance to your growth? Who, name them, seems uncomfortable with your changes? And why do you think that might be? Go ahead and pause this episode again and take a few minutes to write. Make sure you're being honest and really stay compassionate as you explore these people.
Okay, let's go a little deeper. What unspoken roles or patterns might be shifting in these relationships because of your growth? Pause and explore this. Understanding the roles at play will help you navigate the resistance and the clarity. And by the way, as you're processing these questions, please be real clear. There's no blame in any direction on any of these questions. There's no blame to you. There's no blame to anyone else. Just looking for clarity. Clarity is power. Notice it's not judgmental clarity. That's not a thing. It's clarity is power. Take some time.
All right. Here's a tool you can try. When someone pushes back, keep your response simple and calm. You can say something like this. I love you. I respect your right to choose your path. And this is what I need to do for me. We're not defending here. We're not over-explaining. We're providing clarity and love. If it helps, you can write this script in your journal or in your notes app. Say it to yourself over and over so it feels very natural coming out. Again, we're not convincing anybody.
That right there, just being clear and respectful and calm without defending or over-explaining. That's the one. That's the hard part.
That's the mic drop. There's no opening for negotiation here. This is what I'm choosing. And that's coming from a place of power.
Put it in the journal so you have practice, because sometimes we suck at this. And we have to know what we're not good at, or we have to get better at it.
You ever do this? You create the script in your brain, but you've never really said it before. And when you start saying it to the person and you're feeling all of the other things, you start saying it as though it's a question. You're like, no, I'm speaking, but it comes out as like a question. Like, please edify what I'm saying to you so I can feel like it's important. No, we're not doing that. It is important. You've decided, period. Mic drop. Pow. Done.
I actually love the idea. You know how we all have voice memos on our phone? Record yourself saying it.
Love this.
Calmly, kindly, no defending, no over-explaining, and then just keep listening to yourself say it so that it feels comfortable when it's time to say it.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let's talk a little bit about generational ripples. This part blows my mind. This is the ripple effect, and it doesn't stop with you. Your growth travels forward through time.
Woo!
So epigenetics shows us that experiences like trauma or healing can actually influence how our genes are expressed. For example, a 2014 study of descendants of Holocaust survivors found trauma markers in their DNA. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Here's the hopeful part. Healing can reverse those patterns. When you do the work to grow, you're not just changing your life, you're reshaping the biological legacy you pass down. This is why it's so important to start the work as early as you can. The earlier you engage in growth and healing, the farther reaching the ripples, and the greater the impact on those around you and future generations. But here's the empowering truth. It's never too late. I have adult children. Even if your children are already adults, your example still matters. Research shows that adult children are influenced by their parents' behaviors and attitudes through modeling and observational learning. So how you handle challenges, express emotions, and pursue growth serves as a powerful example at any stage of life. And this also affects the people you affect. So even if you don't have children, this still matters.
Yeah.
Whether you're just beginning or continuing your journey, please know this. Your efforts are shaping a legacy of healing and resilience, transforming not just your life, but the lives of those you love and generations to come.
Holy moly. So powerful. Nicole, it gives me chills. We're not just healing ourselves. We're literally changing the story for our kids, our grandkids, and even people we'll never meet. I'd like everybody to do this. If you're not driving, close your eyes just for a minute. Imagine a grandchild or a great-grandchild thanking you for breaking cycles and creating freedom. Picture their life. Feel their gratitude. It would be great. Pause the episode here and take a few minutes to write about what you saw and felt.
And if you don't have children, there could be someone you affected and don't even realize it.
Yeah, here in Hawaii, we are ohana, everybody's auntie, uncle. It doesn't matter that they're not blood related. Anybody can see you doing the work, and it can matter for them in the future. All it takes is one example. Oh, if they could do it, why can't I do it? You're exactly right. Your modeling efforts change people's lives. And it's terrifying and brilliant and beautiful all at the same time. We hold this amazing power inside of us. What are we going to do with it?
Now we're going to talk about how you stay in that eye. You don't get pulled into the messy storm that's happening around you. It's not just staying steady, it's also keep growing when those ripples get messy. Here's 3 tools to help guide you through the process. First, stay rooted in your why. Why are you changing? When resistance shows up, it's easy to second guess yourself, but take a moment to write down your vision, why you're committed to growing, and what kind of future you want to create. When the waves feel rough or the chaos around you gets crazy, return to that vision. It becomes your anchor, keeping you in that eye, helping you stay steady, focused, and grounded no matter how chaotic everything gets around you.
Yeah. Secondly, communicate without convincing. We just talked about this. You, my friends, are not responsible for making others understand or agree with your choices. You are only responsible for being clear and kind. Here's the script. I'm making this change for me. You don't have to understand it, but I hope you'll support me. This one sentence can save you from endless battles. You've probably heard me say them before. I call it a canned response. I don't need to think about it. I don't need to put energy towards your disagreement. I'm making this change for me. You don't have to understand it, but I hope you'll support me, period. And thirdly, create a supportive circle. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your growth, not resent it. That might mean working with a coach, joining a group, or finding a community like this podcast. When the people closest to you resist, you do need a safe space to recharge.
Agreed. Oh my, that is so important. You've got to have a group. So you're the stone. Every choice you make sends ripples into the world. Some will inspire, some will disrupt, and many you'll never see. But every ripple matters. Your growth doesn't just change your life. It sets in motion a wave of transformation that can touch people and even generations you may never meet. So keep going, even when it feels messy, even when you feel alone. And know this, somewhere out there, someone's life is already being changed by your courage.
Aw.
It's amazing.
Yeah, seen it in action.
When you hear a story of somebody else, I've had this experience 10 years later, hearing somebody say, oh, you did this and it encouraged me to do this. And I'm like, when did this happen?
Yeah.
Wow, you really do have effect on things.
Yeah.
You have the force. The force is with you. Are you going to use it for good or evil? Because you're affecting people. Which way are you choosing to affect them? It's the same as growth. You're always growing. Which way are you choosing to grow?
Yeah.
I love this. This is such a great concept. And understanding this is beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. That is my takeaway. I think that really, truly understanding what we're talking about here allows us, the changer, if you will, to really have empathy for those around us.
Yes.
Because they're not going to get it. And again, they didn't choose this. I've often said this on stage. People don't like change as small as, hey, you had green carpet in here yesterday and today it's blue. That throws me off because I liked that ugly green carpet, or not liked it, but I was comfortable with it because I knew it was here. And now you've got blue carpet and now I have to readjust everything, right? People don't like that kind of change, let alone change that puts a mirror up in front of them and says, are you sure? Whoo! So to be able to have empathy in these type of situations, and empathy doesn't mean I agree with what you're doing. It means I understand that could be hard, but you don't have to worry about it because it's me doing this. And I hope you find your power is amazing too. Do what works. What's your takeaway, Nicole?
My takeaway is that the opposite of this concept is really important as well. In other words, when someone around you is changing, how are you showing up?
Yeah.
Are you being the person that's positively or negatively affected by someone else's change and going, whoa, 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 what's happening? And then you have to take a minute to go, wait, that person's changing. How are they changing? How is it affecting me? What is it showing me and myself? Because when we have the mirror is a difficult thing when it's hey, you're showing up as this. Is that really who you want to be? And you're going, shh, no. That's not who I want to be.
Yeah.
That is so interesting to me. And the fact that although I've always known we have impact on others when we're changing, knowing that impact can be positive or negative, and it is such a ripple effect to those around you. My biggest understanding and takeaway for this year has been learning how much our bodies lie to us. And the concept of status quo, the homeostasis, the fact that you're safe because you're staying in this box for me. You're safe because you're in the box. Stay in the box. And my brain constantly lies to me because it wants me to stay in that box, even though I know I don't need to stay in that box. That box may not be serving me anymore. I need to shed that box, find my other stuff, and figure it out. And this is just right along with that concept.
Yeah.
So fascinating.
And we do have the power to choose. If somebody in front of us is changing, we get to look at that, like you said, Nicole, and say, does this work for me in this relationship now?
Yeah.
I may have to look at myself and say, I don't like the way you've changed, but I'm going to sit here and be very honest with myself and say that because this dynamic has changed, maybe that's what needs to happen. And that's okay. That's okay. And at the top of this episode, you had mentioned, we've learned this. This is hard. It is hard because things sometimes break because of this. It doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah, I went through an experience this year of losing a very long-term friend because I've been growing so much that I'm recognizing patterns that I feel are destructive. And because of that, I had to go through that experience, and it was tough. It's very difficult to outgrow something and then have to look back and go, that doesn't serve me and it doesn't serve you. And I want to leave in peace. Didn't quite play out that way, but I tried.
Yeah.
I always want to leave in kindness and peace. And I wish that person the best. And that's what happens sometimes when we change. Yet there are other people in my world who are now showing up. There's always the people that will show up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good stuff. Well, I'm sorry that experience happened, and I'm glad that you have the tools to navigate through that. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience, and it was a tough learning experience. I wouldn't say I'm sad it happened. I would say I'm sad it happened the way it happened, but I'm not sad it happened. So life is so interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're just learning.
Oh, come along with us. We got some questions.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to ask first.
Okay.
I don't know why, because I like to ask first.
She does.
What would be your entrance theme song if you were a professional athlete? You know how they go up to bat and they're
no, I know.
The wrestlers come out.
Yep. And then everybody knows it's you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. So it's This Is Me, the song from The Greatest Showman.
Oh.
And it's when she breaks into I make no apologies, this is me. I love that song. That song gets me every time.
Yeah. All right. Good answer.
That would be it. Yes.
All right, let's jam it out.
Love that song and her voice. Ah, Kayla Settle is amazing. Okay. So my question for you is, would you rather live your entire life in a virtual reality where all your wishes are granted, or in the real world?
Oh, there's a catch-22. The answer should be in the real world, but I tell ya.
But all your wishes are granted.
I say virtual reality, AI, grant me my wishes. Now, quite honestly, I know that would get very boring. What comes to mind is the movie Aladdin, where Jasmine, the princess, is just chilling in the castle and she's got her tiger friend. She's like, I want to go do stuff. I can't do anything. Everything is just here and I want to experience real stuff. I think that's the way it would be. It would be nice for a minute, only because I know that real life is sometimes difficult, as you and I discuss weekly, that we have the tools. End all be all, I really think the real world is so spectacular that joy is so joyous only because we have experienced pain. Without having the experience of pain, you really are desensitized to the beautiful things in life. I think only to know what real true beauty and joy would feel like, the real world's got to win out. I mean, just by an edge though, because I tell you tonight, I'm not going to get something I want and I'm going to be like, where's that world?
Give me the VR with the wishes.
Yeah.
Jen, have you ever watched the show Black Mirror?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever see the one? It's called Bête Noire, and it's about the pendant.
Probably. This
Okay.
was years ago that I watched this show.
This is a new one. It's the newest season. It's season 7, and it's called Bête Noire, and it's that concept.
Oh.
Yeah. You might want to check it out. It is fascinating. And I can't tell you how many times I've referenced that episode, and I just called it the one with the pendant because I didn't know the name of it, but I looked it up. Bête Noire. Yeah, check it out.
That's a
you'll like it.
Great series. I have referenced more than one time episodes that I've seen saying like, we are one click away from this happening, or we are so close to this being like what our real life is. And it's kind of scary.
So let me ask you a question. When you're explaining to somebody and they go, what is that? How do you explain it?
I don't. I go, just go watch it. You'll see. Okay. Well, I guess there's a broader theme of like, watch out, folks, we're almost here. But every episode is so individual, but it feels so close. It feels like, oh my gosh, I could wake up tomorrow and we could be here. And that's what's so creepy and scary and freaky about it. But I don't know that I've ever explained like a general theme of what Black Mirror is. I always find myself just saying, just go watch it. Just go watch it.
Let me ask you this, if you would agree, because this is what I usually tell people. It's the Twilight Zone for now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When you think about the Twilight Zone, if you ever watched that show, it's in black and white. If you watched it way back when, it was probably scary because it was like, oh, that could happen. Aliens could come down, and How to Do Humans or whatever was a recipe book, or, the weird things in the old ones. I'm like, I think people that like freak people out. But anyway.
No, it does make sense. The world of technology has gotten so real. So Twilight Zone was funny in that it was like, oh yeah, that could happen.
But by the time we watched it, it was many years later.
Yes.
When it first came out, it was released in 1959 to 64. So by the time we watched it, if you watch the old ones, like they thought aliens were coming.
Yes. I mean, don't we still though?
Yes. In a different way. Totally off topic. We went totally off topic, but I love it. All right.
Okay. Well, let's wrap it up here. Your journey matters. Your growth matters. And every single ripple you create has the power to change not just your life, but the lives of people you may never even meet. If this episode has inspired you, challenged you, or given you even one new insight, we would love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments on our socials and let us know what ripples you're creating in your own life. And here's a favor we're asking from you. If you have a friend, family member, or teammate who's actively working on themselves, please send them this episode. You never know what kind of ripple you might create just by passing this message along. Don't forget, like, subscribe, Lessons of the Journey on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube so you don't miss our future episodes and resources. Make sure to tune in next time where we'll keep diving into the tools, insights, and conversations that help you grow boldly and live fully. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Write your lines with passion, let your spirit freely roam. The lessons of your journey